Hello, I'm Janine Rainey and I'm the candidate for the Labour Party for Perthshire South and Kinross-shire. And I'm very grateful that I've been asked to answer some questions today. So I'm going to just go through each of the questions. So one of them is, in a recent consultation with the communities we serve, insecure work was highlighted as one of the biggest issues in Perth and Kinross. How would your party address the issue? And I absolutely recognise that's the case. I'm a third sector worker as well as a member of the Labour Party, and one of the things that I've noticed is the number of people who are coming forward now who've lost employment or who just don't have those opportunities. So the Labour Party is absolutely committed to a national recovery plan, and that will be one of the main priorities. Anis Sarwar has been absolutely clear that his priority is to look at the recovery after COVID as being the sort of main focus for Scottish Labour. And what part of that will be that we'll be looking at guaranteeing a job for every young Scot, but also looking at a reasonable level of salary for people. One of the initiatives that's come up at the moment, the Kickstart scheme, unfortunately that's only for 6 months, so we will be looking at something sustainable for anybody that's out of work, and looking at building back our economy to ensure that we've got those work opportunities for people who require them. And the next question is, it's been argued that those disproportionately impacted by the pandemic should be at the heart of developing recovery plans. What would you do to ensure inclusion of diverse voices from our minority communities in this process? And again, from my own experience in the third sector, that's something I've been really committed to throughout my life, actually, and looking at how we involve people from all sorts of communities within the country, and certainly within the organisations that I've worked for, that's been something where we've made sure that there are ways that people can become involved, but ways that are appropriate to them and that are sensitive to them, and that they feel that they're respected, listened to, and able to be really substantial parts of any strategy going forward. And that's about not just developing strategies for people, but developing strategies with people and enabling them to have a voice. So part of that, if I was successful in being the candidate for Perthshire South and Kinross-shire, would be to do that engagement with local communities, hear their voices and listen to what it is that they need, so that I'd be able to take that forward and to represent their rights. And I think that needs to be done in really carefully planned out ways, and certainly with the organisations that support people and with the people themselves, to see how that would best be done. And the third question is, during COVID, the Minority Communities Hub has supported many individuals who have no recourse to public funds, and what is your position on this policy? And again, I fully understand that the third sector has absolutely been where people have had to turn, where they have no recourse to public funds. There needs to be a really wide strategy going forward to address these issues. We understand that that is an issue that we need to do a lot of campaigning with the UK Parliament to make change, and certainly there have been many Labour politicians who have been involved in doing those campaigns in the past, and we need to look at people being given the opportunity to work and the chance to work. But we also need to look at when people are in difficult situations, and in particular as well, I've worked with a lot of people who have been in domestic abuse situations and have really struggled. So we need to make sure there's a clear strategy to ensure that this issue is addressed, and a lot of that will be engagement between local authorities, the third sector and the wider government, to ensure that there's strategies in place to address this issue, because we can't have MD having their human rights compromised and not having access to even the most basic needs. So I'm fully committed to this. I think I'm unique in that I have a background in working with the third sector, where I've worked with all different sectors of the community, and it's been a huge commitment of mine. Back when I started, I developed culturally sensitive projects to ensure that there was full accessibility and also inclusion from everybody in the services that I worked for, because we realised we weren't reaching enough people. And I would take forward those principles of equality forward into my work as an MSP if successful, and fight tirelessly for the needs of the people in this community. So I hope that you'll give me your vote, and if anybody has any further questions, don't hesitate to contact me. So thank you.